in arriving at the White House for his second term, your boy Donnie, one of his flagship policies, if not the flagship policy, was to implement tariffs. Now, and anyway, one of the countries was China, obviously, and Donald Trump said, look, we are going to slap this tariff on China. And China was like, well, I mean, you need us every bit as much, like, if not more. You probably need us more than we need you, because basically every country in the world buys cheap cheap clothing, products, shit, stuff, things from China, right? So China were like, if you slap us with a tariff, we'll just slap you back with a tariff. I mean, I don't really see what the benefit is to this. So then Trump was like, well, if you slap us with a tariff back, then we're going to jack the tariffs up even more. And then China were like, well, if you jack up the tariffs even more, like, we'll just jack them up again to meet you. And the whole thing got out of hand. Like, it went up to like 80%. At one point, they were talking about 130% tariffs.
Donald Trump, it's being reported, now threatening a further 50% tariff on China.
On one of their core strategic partners in trade. And anyway, since then, the US has been saying, look, we're working on a trade deal with China. And China were like, no, you're not.
China, for example, now speaking out about U.S. tariffs, denying that it is engaged in ongoing talks with the White House.
China today denied the claims by President Trump that his team is in talks.
I don't know who you're talking to, because it's not us. Like, no negotiations are taking place, so why are you telling everyone? And people like me and like David Pakman and like content creators who sit on the left of the political landscape were like, this is so humiliating for the President of the United States of America to basically be getting trolled by the Twitter account of the Embassy of China, just going like, I don't know who he says he's talking to. It's not. He's imagining things. Has he got early onset dementia, or is he just lying? Either one of those is not a good story to tell, but take your pick by all means, Donnie. And so anyway, for the last like 2 weeks, it's kind of gone a bit quiet. And now they have announced a US-China trade deal. And they're treating it like, you know, predictably like it's art of the deal, business genius.
Tonight's story. It's all about the art of the deal. The Trump administration has announced a trade deal has been reached with China.
We made substantial progress between the United States and China.
But, you know, the reality is that they went to China and said, how about these tariffs, huh? And China were like, well, all right, but we'll just do this. And then, you know, China meet them at every single point of the way. And then they've spoken to China. They're going, well, what if we like reduced the tariffs back down to this level? And then China were like, well, yeah, okay, I guess we could lower ours again, like to match yours. And then the US are like, okay, well, what if we just brought it down a little bit further? And then China were like, okay, again, like we'll just bring it down to match yours. So at every step of the way, China have just been like, I mean, his behavior is really, really confusing. But yeah, sure. If you want to lower them again, we can bring them back down. And now that they've done that, maybe, possibly, there is a chance that some ships, some storage containers might, maybe, possibly, could set sail from China and get some more stock and things and stuff back to American companies, back to the warehouses in America. Absolutely no guarantee that Americans won't get some colossal shortage and that it won't have a massive impact on the American manufacturing sector. Like they're almost in too deep at this point. There's going to be empty shelves and a delay on certain products. That is just a fact of where we're at, thanks to Donnie's tomfoolery. But anyway, so that's all the context. Sorry, that was really long and rambly. That is the context. This is how Fox News are telling their viewers it has come about.
Now, in the last week, we went from China not coming to the negotiating table to now getting this pause and what we hope is ultimately a real deal.
I like that she talks about it like what we hope is a real deal.
What we hope is ultimately a real deal.
As opposed to the UK trade deal, which Donald Trump announced last week. On Truth Social, he said it's a full and comprehensive trade deal with the United Kingdom. And then, like, about 24 hours, it was like, this isn't full. All comprehensive. What are you talking about? Like, it's a memorandum. It's an intent to trade. Fox News are like, oh, you're mistaken. It's a full and comprehensive trade deal with your country, just like the president said. Rest of us are like, it's not signed. It's not even finalized. It doesn't even have like half the all of it's missing. What is this? Well, all right, it's not that full or comprehensive. It's not even a trade deal. Right. Yes. It's an intent to trade. It's a memorandum. It's not a trade deal. But at least it's a deal, right? It's a deal. Can we agree on that? Well, actually, the U.S. auto industry is already pushing the president to renege on this deal. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but whatever it turns out to be, it's going to be bigly. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be the greatest trade deal that ever was. And so, yeah, anyway, now Laura Ingraham is in a position where even just presenting anything to do with trade, now she has to be like, this one's real. This is totally real. As I understand it, this one is totally good and real.
So take us inside and what really happened to get us to this moment.
The first thing to understand is that there's been a lot of work behind the scenes that went on before we had these meetings, outreach, official and unofficial, between the two sides.
So this is where he's putting out the idea that there was some sort of secret back channels conversation or negotiation going on. I assume that's what he's trying to do here? Even though China were like, I don't know who you're talking to. Like, don't make stuff up. Don't lie that you're negotiating with us. You're not.
Denied.
Now he's trying to further perpetuate that lie.
President Trump declared reciprocal tariffs. He assigned China a tariff of 34%, and everyone else said that they wanted to negotiate with us. They did not retaliate or did not implement retaliation. Everyone except for China.
I mean, just the total, brain rot logic of this. Firstly, calling it retaliations, when actually it's you that's embarking upon a trade war. It's you that's slapping every other country with tariffs. Well, no other countries retaliated. Yeah, because they're not strong enough to. They're not strong enough. It's only China. In fact, even that's a lie. Because Canada were like, you get an awful lot of your energy from us. So, I mean, if you want to roll these dice, we could do this dance, Donnie. And he tried it. He phoned up the Canadian PM. He was like, well, maybe I'll jack your tariffs up even more. And they were like, okay, let's see how this works out, shall we, Donald? And then what happened? He blinked first because he knew he was fucked. So it's not true to say no other countries retaliated. Canada did, and Donnie backed down. China did because they are strong enough to push back. So
everyone else said that they wanted to negotiate with us. They did not retaliate or did not implement retaliation. Everyone except for China. China went ahead and they implemented 34%. The president needed to make sure that his action was going to work, so he had to adjust it again upwards. And
what he means here is they met him on his terms. They also slapped him back with the tariff. And then Donnie panicked and he was like, oh, I'll jack up my own tariffs then to even higher.
China started escalating, and so that's why. China started escalating. Yeah, that is what happened. To have a heart-to-heart with the Chinese side. And
well, the Global Times, which is the mouthpiece for the CCP.
The Global Times is the mouthpiece for the Chinese Communist Party. Laura Ingraham on Fox News, which is little more than a Donald Trump fan club YouTube channel now. That's basically what it is. When was the last time you saw Fox News criticize Donald Trump? And this bitch has got the gall to be like, oh, well, the Global Times, which is basically a mouthpiece for the CCP. So can you even believe anything that they say when it's so obvious that they just spew out propaganda? I don't know, Laura. Oh, that's a tricky one. Would I believe a news outlet that was obviously a propaganda machine? Oh, that is, yeah. Do you know what? I just don't know if I would, Laura.
Just another